Honestly, Brandon, me too. And he's now a Stanley Cup champion, James Avagetti. Absolute legend. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to your Quebec Nordiques franchise mode. In the last video, we had, well, I wouldn't call it a disappointing playoff because we didn't really have a ton of expectations going in as a year two team. Well, we kind of did. We had 52 wins, but I don't think anyone really expected us to be here. And we got our asses handed to us by the eventual Stanley Cup champions, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Fun fact, the Quebec Nordiques allowed 28 goals in 5 games. Gary, that is not good enough. Chaser says, after 28 goals against in 5 games, I think it's safe to say Henrik Lundqvist has played his last games with Quebec. Hashtag ain't nobody got time for that. Now, I really wanted to make this a Cinderella story. Henrik Lundqvist goes out on top, his last chance at a Stanley Cup ring, and it was supposed to be with Quebec. Unfortunately, we got bounced in round number 1. So he is going to be a free agent. I'm not going to bring him back, but I'm going to talk about that in a couple minutes. But why isn't anyone talking about Tampa? They only lost 3 games in the entire playoffs. That's right. They lost once against us. They swept the Panthers. They lost once against Carolina and then lost once against the Stanley Cup finalists, the Colorado Avalanche. So that is just an insane run. But then Mr. Bang Bang, he says, what about Colorado not losing until Tampa? And if you look at the other side, look at the Western Conference, they swept the Ducks, they swept the Blues. Now, remind you, the Blues have an absolutely insane team. They swept the Coyotes, and then they eventually lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning. That is a ridiculous run. They were 12-0 going in the Stanley Cup Finals. But I mean, we just lost to a better team, honestly. They had James Vagetti. What do you expect me to do? The Solid Tendy Matt says, I think the Avalanche Nordiques rivalry needs to step it up a notch. Obviously, since we're in different conferences, we don't play each other a whole lot, but I would love to meet these guys in the Stanley Cup Finals. That would be just unbelievable. Now, in this video, we're going to do the draft, do the re-sign stage, dabble in free agency. I don't really think we need to make any major changes. We have Matty Barzal, we have Conrad Stastny. All these guys are inked for at least 1 more year. Now, Brandon Barenfeld, he says, don't bring back Henrik Lundqvist. You've already committed to letting him go when this was the year. He already went down to an 86 overall at 40 years old. He's only going to decline. Not worth wasting Askarov's development. And I agree with you. So, unfortunately, Henrik Lundqvist, he is going to be a free agent at the end of this year. We're going to let him walk. We probably should have just let UC Saros run with it, but I wanted this to be a storybook ending. But shout out to UC Saros. He's going to be our starter for next year. And then the backup position is obviously going to go to Yaroslav Askarov, who should be like low 80s at the start of next year. Had an unbelievable year in Quebec City. But as of right now, I think we're just going to head into the draft. I don't think we're going to move up. I don't think we're going to move down. I don't really know what we're going to do because like I said, we don't really have a glaring hole on our team. Because if you look at our forwards, our first line is going to be Stastny, Barzal, and probably Sammy Blais, and then the second line will be Dadonov, Philip don't know how to say his name, and Jaden Schwartz, and then Jesper Bratt, Bjugstad, and Ilya Mikheyev, or we'll switch Mikheyev with Lucas Raymond, but then you're going to have Brett Connolly on the fourth line, Adam Lowry, and maybe Nick Patan. So I mean, maybe you can think about moving someone around. If we are going to make a move, it's probably going to be for a defenseman. I know we allowed 28 goals in the playoffs. That was way too many in 5 games. Larson, Jake McCabe, they're all right. They're okay, but I think we need a big piece on the back end, and I think all you guys can agree. So as of right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 NHL ready defensemen. So you're probably going to have to say goodbye to John Moore because Nasty Nas is going to be making his NHL debut. Well, I guess he played in the playoffs, but making his regular season NHL debut. He's going to be a rookie for next year. He should be low 80s. I'm hoping he jumps up. I think he's a depth depth defenseman. Oh no, he's actually listed as a top 6 defenseman, so he is ready to go. Nasty Nas, the first ever draft pick, had a fantastic year in the American Hockey League, 55 points, 120 penalty minutes. He kind of gooned it up a little bit, but if we are going to make a trade, it's going to be for a defenseman or in free agency, but I think John Moore is going to be the one player I am going to shop. He doesn't make a ton of money, but I mean, that $2.7 million, still $2.7 million. So let's hop into the draft here. We obviously know the first 2 picks are going to be the Yager brothers. So we actually have 2 first round picks. We have 22 and we have 28. So maybe utilizing one of those picks for a trade might not be a bad idea. I don't really want to move up into the draft. Really, at this point, I'm not really targeting any certain players. I mean, getting Luke Hughes would be pretty sweet. He's an offensive defenseman. I'd really like to get Luke Hughes, but we don't have enough to move up into the top 10 anyways. So if we are going to move up, it's going to be like top 15, but really, is there even a point? I think I'm going to stay put, but using that extra first round pick might be something I would like to maybe acquire a defenseman at. I'm gonna have a look around the league, see if there's any defensemen on the trade block. Maybe a nice vet, someone who's maybe won a Stanley Cup before. Maybe not someone who's just a kind of a player that comes to my mind is like Alex Pietrangelo. Maybe a player like that. Okay, and there's Pietrangelo, but not at that cap. Oh my god. 7 years at 10.4, and he's 31. Yeah, no thanks. Ryan Suter, Nate Schmidt might not be bad, but I'm kind of looking for an elite defenseman. I'm looking for someone 86, 87 overall, a top 2 guy. I mean, we don't have a ton to trade, but I have a first and I have a little bit I can throw their way, but honestly, it might be a free agent thing if I can't find anyone If I can't find anyone here, it might have to be something we look at in free agency. It's okay though, it's not a rush. We don't need to pull the trigger right now. We're not in panic mode. Landy's on the trade block, but I don't really need to do anything right now. But getting a defenseman is definitely tops of my list. So I've had a look around the league, and really there's not a whole lot going on. I think we're just going to move on and see what's up in free agency. Maybe I can see if I can trade Henrik Lundqvist rights. Let's see, can I get a pick for Henrik Lundqvist rights? Who's a good team this year? He's obviously going to want to go to a contender. I mean, we could send him to Tampa Bay. Let's see about Colorado. See if they need a tendy. Just to see if we can get anything for his rights. We might not even be able to make this trade go through, but let's see. And they do need a goalie, actually. They made it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals with Thomas Greiss. That's pretty insane. Give me a 6th for Henrik Lundqvist, basically just for his rights. Come on. I wish this was more, like, realistic, because that's probably a trade that would go through. You trade for a player's rights, you need a goalie. A 7th for Henrik Lundqvist? Trade accepted. All right, there you go. So we didn't get a 6th, but we got a 7th for a player that we're not going to get back. We turn nothing into something. There you go. Now, what Yager brother is going to go number 1? Is it going to be Lucas, or is it going to be, what the hell's his name? Trevor? I think it's Trevor. Yeah, Trevor and Lucas Yager. Which one's going to Vegas and which one's going to Long Island? And it's Trevor Yager, and that's right, baby. 88 overall, high elite. Lucas is going to be going to Long Island, so there you go, Lucas and Trevor. Oh boy, the NHL is not ready for the next wave of Yagers. And I mean, the Vegas Golden Knights already have such a ridiculous roster as it is. They're going to be just insane. The 3rd overall pick goes to the New Jersey Devils, and they pick Atu Ratti. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's actually scouted to go pretty high in the actual NHL draft, but there he is. He goes to Jack Hughes and the New Jersey Devils. Number 4 gets Kincaid, who's a nice 2-way defenseman. Having a look at Minnesota, and they get Luke Hughes. That's exactly who they need. They need a puck-moving defenseman. There he is. Trevor Wong goes to the Quebec Nordiques, and then it kind of drops off there. So we're probably going to stand put with where we are. I really hope that the Colorado Avalanche actually sign Henrik Lundqvist, because they really do need him. But here we go with our first of 2 first-round picks here. We could pick a center. All right, so Connor Lockhart, he is 18 years old, 5'10", not a huge guy, 75 points in 65 games. He is a scout recommendation, which I like. We could pick a forward here, or we can go with Landon McCullum, Zach Stringer. Oh man, the big kid from Edmonton. We could pick him again. Dylan. Oh man, we had this guy in our Saskatchewan franchise mode. The big kid from Edmonton. What a beast. If he's still around with our other pick, I might think about it, but I think we should go with the best player available. Scout rank has him at 22, right on the button. So here we go with our first pick out of the Ontario Hockey League. Quebec is extremely proud to select Connor Lockhart from the Erie Otters. Welcome to Quebec, and he is 70 medium top 6. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. McCullum was the exact same thing. Not bad. What about Nashville? Who are they going to pick? Stringer, he's 67. And then Washington is going to get the big kid from Edmonton. There you go. He goes to the Caps. Love to see it. Who do we miss out on here? McTavish. And then the next pick is going to be Edmonton. And then it's back to us. So they pick Stillman. Corey Stillman, maybe? I'd like to pick a defenseman here, but it doesn't seem like there's any D available. We can go with an exact medium top 9 in Colin Ribeiro, who's 17 years old, so a definite project. All these guys are scout recommends. We've picked a center, so I'm probably going to stay away from the center, but this guy is interesting because our scout had him at 17, and this is 28th. So Lars Sjugren, maybe this is the guy. He's going to be NHL ready in 2 years. Huh, all these guys are going to be 2 years, actually. Helm was scouted to go 19. Spike Helm, what a name. Spike Helm or Lars Sjugren. Their strength of competition was both A+. I don't think you can really go wrong with either one of these players. I'm going to go with Spike Helm. What a name. I love the name Spike. Welcome to Quebec, and he's 68 medium top 6. I'm interested to see what Sjugren is going to be. 68 medium top 6. So really the exact same thing. One's a power forward and one is a two-way forward. So let's move on here. Missed out on a 70 overall. That's all right. No worries there. It's only 2 overall difference. And then 69. Nice. And that's going to be the first round. Moving on to round number 2, where we have the second overall pick, which was, remember, this was the pick that we got from the Wings. I told you guys that I wanted to be reminded about this pick. So remember, this is the pick we got from the Detroit Red Wings. What are we going to turn it into? I'd love to pick a defenseman here. Francisco Akuri. He is our scout recommendation. Vic Hodgson. I like this guy. A defenseman from, he's a German, that's kind of cool. All right, a German defenseman. Or we could go, all these guys are medium top 6 confirmed. Play it safe, go with Steve Howard, the whitest name ever. A lot of good players out here. Is there anyone confirmed medium elite? Just to cheese the system a little bit here. No one's confirmed. This guy's pretty damn close, though. Filatov is pretty damn close. We've picked a couple of forwards here. Let's go with a defenseman. Vic Hodgson out of the Dell, a German defenseman. The next Christian Ehrhoff. Let's go. Welcome to Quebec, Vic, and he's 62 medium top 6. Not bad. It's not bad at all. What did we miss out on here? I want to see what that other guy was going for. There he is. 65 medium top 9. It's not terrible. We've picked a couple of forwards, picked a defenseman. Any tendies available? Doesn't look like it. We got a medium top 9 confirmed in William Roach. What else we got here? Another German? Ooh, out of the Dell. Let's continue with the German theme here. Leon Abstreiter. Abstreiter, I think that's how you pronounce it. Another center. Our scout recommends this guy. Let's listen to the scout, and he is 65 medium top 9. We're doing all right in this draft right now. We're doing pretty good. Pick number 4, 124th overall. I'd love to pick a tendy here if there is one available. We can go off the board a little bit with Declan McLean, who's 18 years old of the U.S. Development Program. Fun fact, I think this is Kirby Dach's little brother. I'm pretty sure he has a little brother that plays for the Saskatoon Blades, Colton Dach. I'm pretty sure, but I think we're going to go with the goalie here. Let's pick a tendy. I kind of like to get all my bases covered. Forward, defenseman, and then we'll go with a tendy. Declan McLean is medium starter, 53 overall. All right, 156th overall. We can go with a confirmed low bottom 6 forward. What else we got here? Another tendy. Now, I know I just picked a goalie, but Ulf Halvardsson, he's A+, and he's NHL ready in potentially 3 years. He could be like low elite. Let's go with another goalie here. I've had pretty good luck with tendies, and he's medium backup. Okay, maybe I was a little bit wrong there. But still, 56 overall, medium backup. At worst, he's just a trading chip. I'll take it. We gotta go with Jokinen, right? A power forward, medium bottom six confirmed. He's 5 years away, but in the 5th round or whatever this is, why not? Let's go with him. Medium bottom six, power forward, Topi Jokinen. He's 56. There you go. All right, so 223rd overall. This is the Henrik Lundqvist pick. So I think we have to pick a Swede. I think that's how it works. Where's the closest Swede here? There he is, Fredrik Dahl. He is a 6'5", 205-pound grinder. What's the next best Swede out there? I guess, we got Landeskog here, who's par Landeskog. No report on him. Any other Swedes? I think that's the rules, though. If you trade Henrik Lundqvist, you kind of gotta pick a Swede. That's the rules, so I can't break the rules. Let's go with them. Fredrik Dahl, 6'5", out of the SHL. Here we go. Our last pick in the draft, and he's 56, medium bottom six. That's not bad. 55 overall, sorry, my bad. But that's not bad at all. That's pretty decent. We had a lot of draft picks there, that's for sure. We got to re-sign our coach here. That's something I haven't really been paying a whole lot of attention to. But Belanger, I think we should hang on to him. I've had no issues with him. He had a great year. This year. His team fit isn't great, but you know what? I'm going to hold on to him right now. Maurice Belanger will go ahead and offer you a contract. 4 years at 4.2. Sure, whatever. He should sign. All right, all the scouts are taken care of. Everything is all good to go. Let's go ahead and get some re-signing done. That draft was actually quite a long one, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sign our top couple of picks here, because they could probably either have one really good year in junior or over in Europe, or they could hop into the American Hockey League, whatever they want. So let's go ahead and sign just the guys who are like 65 plus, and then we'll go ahead and sign the big guys. All right, so good news for us, we have $39 million, but I think Sammy Blais is still going to want $9 million, and he wants 8.2, which is a lot for a guy that could cap out at 85 overall. That's a ton of money. That's a ton of money to pay. Now, we have the money to do it, I understand, but I'm going to go ahead and get everyone else re-signed here, like Adam Fox, Ilya Mikheyev. There's a few people. Nothing super crazy. It's not going to be a super long re-sign stage, but that $8 million for Sammy Blais is a lot. And what does Juuse Saros want just for fun? He wants 3.8 for 1 year. He wants a year to prove himself. I like it. There you go. Welcome to the squad. But I'm not sure about that $8 million. That is a ton to pay. All right, so everyone has been signed. We're waiting on them to sign on the dotted line. The only thing I'm concerned about is Sammy Blais. $8 million for an 86 overall player. That seems like a lot. That seems like a lot of money. Maurice Belanger is good to go. That's good news. We got our head coach all ready to go. All of our assistant coaches, all of our scouts, they should sign here. This might take a minute. I wish there was an option to just auto sign and auto renew all your head coaches, all your scouts, all that stuff, because it gets kind of annoying. Adam Lowry is back. That's good news. Sami Niku is back. Now, all these players were super, super cheap. Juuse Saros wants a nice 1-year deal. Love that. Adam Fox was super cheap. Nick Bjugstad was cheap. Ilya Mikheyev was cheap. Alex Edler says no. Now, I understand this. He only wanted $2 million for 1 year, but 35 years old. He might want to go for a chance at a better team. I'd like to resign right now, but I want to win now. I understand. So Alex Edler is someone that we might be able to replace. Our team is full for all these guys. That's fine. We can deal with them later since they're not going to be expiring. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tender qualify Sammy Blais. That's a lot of money. $8 million. Yeah, he had 60 points, but if I could get him at like 2 years, it's still going to be $8 million. I mean, we have the cap to do it. We have 28 million, but I'm going to qualify him. We'll see if we get any offers in free agency. Maybe someone's going to offer him, $10 million, and that's going to be 4 first-round picks. We might have to take that, or maybe he's going to want less in free agency. Sometimes that does happen. So I am going to write down the team here. We're going to see what our needs are. I know for sure we're going to need what's probably going to be a 4th liner and probably 1 or 2 defensemen, because maybe Alex Edler's not coming back. So let's see what we can do here. All the scouts, yeah, sign on the dotted line. Come on. So before looking at the free agents that are available, right now our team has a few question marks, and the big one is going to be Sammy Blais, obviously. But looking aside from that, say we do get him signed, he's going to be on our first line. And then the only real question is our fourth line winger. We can either get someone else or put Brett Connolly / Nick Patan in there. Now defensively, I would love to trade more and insert a top 6 guy and then move McCabe down, or even play Nasty Nas in the top 4. That's something we can think about as well. Ty Smith, he could be ready to go. He's 78 overall. If he jumps up even a little bit, he's going to be ready to go. Thank you, New Jersey. So there's a few question marks. Let's have a look at the free agent pool. Last year, it wasn't that great. We had to settle for, I guess, Evgeny Dadonov, which wasn't that bad, but watch this year just be stacked. I'd love an elite defenseman, and oh my god, Alex Ovechkin. I can already see the comments. And Morgan Rielly. All right, so Morgan Rielly is on my radar. Abso-freaking-lutely. I would love to get a 20-goal, 70-point defenseman on our team. This is a guy for Nasty Nas to look up to. I think it's without a question, we have to go after this guy. 100,000%. Now, there's a few other teams interested. He wants a 4-year deal, which I don't mind at all. We're going to have to overpay a little bit. Let's go 9.4 for 4 years for Morgan Rielly. Now, if we do get Morgan Rielly, that means Sammy Blais, is he going to be gone? I mean, once the time comes that Conrad Stastny's going to have to be re-signed, oh boy, but we need a legitimate defenseman, and besides that, it's PK Subban and Mark Giordano. I'd much rather pay the extra to get a young 27-year-old stud in his prime. So I think without a question, Morgan Rielly should be a Quebec Nordique, and we're going to try for 9.4 for $4 million. Now that leaves the next question for Sammy Blais. What the hell are we going to do with him? We could wait and see if he gets an offer, and then we can take 3 first-round picks and sign Ovi, which sounds crazy, but we could do it. What do we do? I like Sammy Blais a lot because he's a Quebec-born kid. I want him on the team. It's not that I don't want him, but I don't know, man. $8 million is a lot for an 86 overall. I mean, Ryan Dzingel and Joe Pavelski are both 86, and they're asking for like $5.5 and $6 million. What makes you so special at 86 asking for 8.4? I think Morgan Rielly is the big piece here. Let's see if we can get him. I'm going to see if there's any young studs we can pick up here. Nick Robertson, he is a forward, by the way. If you get that joke, you obviously watch Steve Dangle. There you go. We're going to go ahead and give him an offer sheet. Any other young guys, I will send out offers to. Let me get this thing going, and hopefully Morgan Rielly signs. I can already see the comments, everyone saying, go sign Ovi, go sign Ovi. Our problem wasn't scoring goals last year. That wasn't our problem. Our problem was allowing goals. So I don't think we really need Ovechkin. We need Morgan Rielly a lot more than we need Alexander Ovechkin, I'll tell you that. So with that being said, I think Morgan Rielly is going to be our big addition for this year. He's going to play alongside of Adam Larson, which isn't really ideal, I know, but it's kind of the player we have to play him with right now. Or we could go out and get Mark Giordano for $6 million. That's a definite 1-year rental. Or a guy like Hampus Lindholm, and we could trade Jake McCabe. That would really solidify our defensive core. If we could play with Lindholm and Rielly, a 2-way defenseman and an offensive defenseman, that might work. We could spend money here, or actually, sorry, 2-way defensemen, and we could probably trade Jake McCabe or Adam Larson, probably Jake McCabe. But Hampus Lindholm at 86 overall at $5.1 million, that seems way too cheap. That seems like a really good deal. Only 27 years old. There's a lot of really good defensemen out there. A ton, actually. Troy Stetcher, what's up? I think we should be looking here at Hampus Lindholm, seriously. That's quite the addition from Jake McCabe. Now, there's a few other players, there's a few other teams interested, so there's no real promise that we're going to be getting him, but $5.75 million? How does that sound, Hampus Lindholm? You go from Anaheim, come hang out in Quebec. Let's see, these two big fish, and then we'll see what's going to happen with Sammy Blais. I'm a little bit concerned Morgan Rielly's not going to sign. I have a weird feeling. Okay, all these young studs. So around day 4 and day 5 is when we should be seeing players sign. Minnesota trades away Jason Zucker for a first and a second. Nicholas Robertson, he appreciate your interest, but he goes back to Toronto. All right. This guy's good to go. All right, so this should be the day number 6. Hampus Lindholm is good to go as well with Morgan Rielly. That's right, baby. Our 2 new studs on the back end. You love to see it. There you go. So unfortunately, it looks like Henrik Lundqvist and the Colorado Avalanche could not come to terms. That sucks. So he's back in free agency. Nedeljkovic's out there. Doesn't look like there's anyone that we should be going after here in the goaltending department. Sammy Blais is still out there. I'm going to play it. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off. This is going to be maybe a little bit of a William Nylander contract negotiation sort of saga here. But if... Okay, hold on here. Okay, this is something we should probably do. A second, so basically pay a third to get Brett Connolly off the books. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. We swap yeah, okay, I'm going to do this. Brett Connolly is going to go to Nashville. There you go. There we go. Done deal. Okay, so LA trades Ben Hutton and Luke Shen. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, wait, you have some players you have to trade. I know this. We got 2 new defensemen. That means that McCabe and John Moore have to be traded. But I am waiting till the start of the year to see if maybe there's going to be some interest for Ty Smith to make the team. So there's still some things I'm trying to work out here. So we are going to make some trades, but it's going to be closer to the start of the regular season. No offers on Sammy Blais yet. Sammy Blais, you're asking for too much money, my dude. You're asking for too much money. Ovechkin's still out there as well. Okay, now Sammy Blais only wants $6 million, so he's a little bit cheaper. That's something I can deal with, all right? $6 million for 1 year, that's a contract I'm all about. And then if you bump it up, it goes to like $12 million, which is just ridiculous. So he knows he's worth some money, but I think he's talked to his agent. He needs 1 more year to really prove himself that he's going to be legit. And did I see Alex Ovechkin only wants $6 million as well? Oh man, Ovi only wants 6.5. Oh, what am I doing? If we sign Ovi, we have to trade Dadonov. Oh, this is just getting to be a little bit too crazy here. If we sign Ovi, he's going to play with Stastny and Barzal, and then the second line is going to be Philip know how to say his name, Jaden Schwartz, and Sammy Blais. So we could make a blockbuster here. We could trade Dadonov, we could trade McCabe and more, and get maybe a first back, and then we still get Ovi. Oh man, what are we doing? And if you look at Jesper Bratt, he's pretty much ready for the second line as well. 84 overall, 23 years old. What I want to do here is I want to stop the video and I want you guys to help me out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until Sammy Blais signs. There you go. So he does sign. Okay, so as of right now, we have some question marks. Should we go after Ovi? I'm going to leave it with you guys. Do you think we should stay put? There's a few options. So option A is going to be we stay with what we have right now. We're going to have to trade John Moore, and we're going to have to trade, obviously, where is he? John Moore and Jake McCabe. That's fine. We've kind of already agreed that we're going to trade these 2 guys, Jake McCabe and where is he? John Moore. We're going to trade them. We could probably get a pick or a decent prospect, right? Those players are players we don't need because our defense is looking real damn good. Morgan Rielly, Hampus Lindholm, Adam Larson, Nasty Nas, Nasir McLeod, Adam Fox, and Sami Niku. And then maybe Ty Smith, maybe. Or option number 2, we still trade these 2 players, but we throw in Evgeny Dadonov. All right, so then we can really get something. We could get an elite prospect back, or just maybe straight up tons of draft picks, and then we sign Alexander Ovechkin, so then the first line looks like Barzal, Stastny, Ovi. Second line is going to be Schwartz, Philip, don't know how to say his name, and Sammy Blais. Third line, Bratt, Bugstad, Lucas Raymond. I can kind of already see what you guys are going to want me to do, and I think it's going to be more towards Ovechkin. But I'm going to be a man of the people, and I'm going to wait. And I kind of like what we did with waiting. Waiting kind of seems to be the theme of this video because we waited on Sammy Blais. He came down $2 million for 1 year. Boom, easy. I don't want to go ahead and make any crazy moves without talking to the assistant GM. So what I need to do is I need you guys to help me out in the comments. What should we do? Oh my God, look at the Vegas Golden Knights right now. Stone, Holtz, Lafreniere, Yager, Agency. That's not very fair. So I'm sorry to do this. I don't want to make the wrong decision. Now, this is a very fan-driven series, so the reason why I'm stopping it here is because I want to get the assistant GM's thoughts. All you guys let me know, do we stay put, trade those two players for whatever, or do we throw in Evgeny Dadonov, trade for something really sick, a top-end prospect, some more first-round picks, and then sign Ovi? You guys can let me know in the comments. In the next video, we're probably going to get the majority of the year done. I feel bad just stopping in the middle of free agency, but this is something I need to talk about. This is something I need your guys' help with. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Ovechkin or no Ovechkin? Let me know.